The IWW, which is called the Wobblies. Why they call them Wobblies, no one really knows for sure. There are legends. But the 510 Hall, or the Wobbly Hall, was the Siemens branch of the IWW. So the IWW had this, what they call industry-wide or horizontal organization. So everyone in the shipping industry, whether you were a longshoreman or a seaman or whatever, you could be a cook or first mate, doesn't matter, you're all members of the 510. That's Industrial Union 510. They had a scheme, some kind of circular chart. And so it was called the 510 Hall. So this I believe was local 10 or 12, I forget, of the 510. They had another one in Newark. They had, of course, in Philadelphia and throughout. And so that's where the name comes from, the 510 Hall. 134 Broad Street, which today, which I find rather ironic, is a huge office building, enormous. And across the street, another office building, which is the headquarters of the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, a different kind of union, for sure. The IWW to my father was everything. It was an expression of his adulthood, his manhood. It was to him the only revolutionary organization, truly revolutionary organization, that was ever produced in the United States. And I think he was right. They were visionary. Their relations, the racial attitudes, the sexual attitudes of women, they were visionary in many, many respects. And he loved the camaraderie. There was something about that organization. You asked me exactly what it was. It was in his bones. It just resonated with him. And he was a good Wobbly. See, the Wobblies were not an anarchist organization per se. I think that later members tend to think that way. They were really, probably, rhetorically speaking, more Marxist. I have the theory that they were an anarchist organization parading as Marxist. They didn't know it. I don't know if that makes sense to you, because they would, see, most of these men probably had not read anarchism. They read Marx. Marx was synonymous with revolution, and for each according to his abilities, and new society, that rhetoric. So they bought into a Marxist. They said they were Marxist. But when you looked at the way the organization was organized, and the way the members behaved, and the lack of hierarchy, and the grassroots base to the thing, that was anarchistic. So that's why I say it was an anarchist organization parading as being Marxist. But there were members of the Wobblies who called themselves anarchists as well. And actually they more or less got along, the whole group, because there was that solidarity. See, that's the thing that my father loved. He loved the sense of solidarity. And he was one of the great believers in the IWW till the day he died.